Travis, Level come through on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, etc. Got some great tunes actually lined up.
Excellent.
I've brought in some Amy Mann, some Neil Young. I'm playing my favourite Clash track. What have you got for us, Steve?
I got a dynamite hip-hop tune by The Roots, which I think you'll enjoy.
Love it, love it.
Got a little bit of Joni Mitchell, maybe swing that on later.
Oh, excellent. I nearly brought in some Joni Mitchell. Good job I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't have made any difference. It wouldn't have made any difference.
No, you'd have probably played yours and then I'd have been told to...
Go away.
Carl,
Carl, what have you got lined up for us as the producer?
Right, well, Rockbusters.
Been off this week again.
Has he?
Yeah.
Another week off?
Another week off, yeah.
No, I didn't have a full week off. I had 3 days off because I was working all over Christmas.
Yeah.
And still didn't stop working, preparing stuff. You've got a nice load of prizes there that I've sorted out. I had to come in especially to sort that out.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Did you rifle through the drawers up at Capital Gold instead of down here?
Yeah. Rockbusters, we're still doing that.
Yeah, you're picking it up.
Yeah.
He's picking it up. Yeah, still doing that.
We've got that. Last week, we sort of changed Educating Ricky a bit. Just a little bit.
Don't say we. I don't want to be incriminated in it.
Well, changed it in a sense that rather than giving you too much information about different things, it's hard to sort of keep it all in.
Yeah.
I'm giving you sort of information on one thing. So last
No,
week,
because some of your stuff was a little bit too intense. My favourite story was there was a blind girl. She hit her head and got better, and I couldn't take all that in at once. So you should really ration some of the education.
We sort of
Wasn't last week war-related stories?
Yeah, it was war. Do you think of that then? And it was three things.
And it was the French battle. Going over the top was John's got a moustache, which you think was ambiguous because someone might have said that anyway.
Well, look, you've remembered it, so it's working. So we'll be doing that, and last week
loads of French people have just gone to war who were listening to this.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to learn some science this week.
Did I?
Yeah. so the title this week for that is Acid, I Would Sort You Some Science Out. Acid, because that's...
How long did that take you to call?
Listen, but you know, people love Karl. There's comedians come to me and go, Karl's the funniest man. They absolutely love him, right? But I think we're only seeing half of it, right? If we can get him on television, his face then, when he told me that title, was like a child at Christmas.
Yeah.
He was so proud of it. He was excited what I was it was brilliant.
It's a bit like when a child's drawn a picture in art class, you know you've got to stick it on the fridge, but you basically think it's crap.
Yeah.
It's very much like that.
Alright, Karl?
Is that good?
Yes.
So we'll be doing that. Do we need them?
Yeah.
Have
you got another one?
We have got another one. Looking at snails.
Oh, yeah.
Snails.
Do we need
because I know you're not a fan of snails, are you?
Well, after a bit of research, I found some good stuff out about, like, they sleep for 13 years, some of them.
Yeah.
And that. So we'll be looking into that
you
later.
tried that one.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
We've got Ritual,
Yeah.
which is something that I told Ricky about.
Yeah, well, last week's was brilliant. It's
was
good
it?
to have a flathead in India.
It's good to have a flat head in India.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna just play one of my favourite Smith tracks.
Can I just make a request? So I'd quite like, if we've got time, to bring back, just for 1 week only, White Van Karl.
Sure.
Because there's some quite interesting topics this week.
Oh, there's things happening in the world.
There's
Because
some
Karl
things
don't think there is.
No.
There is a light that never goes out. Someone's left one of those little things in here. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Amazing. What are they called, those things?
I'm just there, I was thinking of being in the front row at a Morrissey concert and going, can I just play along? They are brilliant.
I don't know what kind of sound that is.
I don't know. It's only used for when Kenneth Williams
yeah, exactly.
sees someone undressing.
Yeah.
That's the only time that is used, that noise. That is brilliant.
But it's like it was specially created for the Carry On films.
Yeah, we need, I don't know what it is, but we need something when I walk in and see someone changing. Well, what about this? There is a light that never goes out by the Smiths. I phoned Karl up in the week, yeah, and I said, what are you doing? He went, well, even though it's one of my days off, I'm just doing some research on the web. When I found anything that said, yeah, I'm doing science. And then he said, you can get wigs for dogs in Tokyo. That's his scientific fact. And I went, what do you mean? He said, dogs, if they need a wig. I said, if they need a wig, what? Dogs going bald. And he went, like, this is fine to him. He went, It's a stressful city, Tokyo. The world's alright with Carl. He's always got an explanation. I've only ever seen him confused once. When, in Edinburgh, he looked out of his window one day and he saw a bloke putting a parking ticket on some rubbish.
Yeah.
And that genuinely confused him.
Yeah.
He couldn't work out, could you?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
And the woman breastfeeding her 8-year-old child. You didn't like, did you?
I don't like that. But, what's the name? Animals with wigs. I kind of thought, after I put the phone down to you, I kind of thought about it, thought, yeah, it was a bit daft, that.
Are you sure he's not the ageing pop group?
No.
The Animals?
But when you think, have you ever seen, like, a bald pet?
No.
It's weird.
What do you mean?
Because my mum, we had a cat, we used to get through loads of cats because we lived there.
Oh god, it started early today, innit?
What do you mean?
It's only 10 past 1.
What were you doing?
No,
running a restaurant?
We lived on.
Oh god, what do you mean?
No, we lived on like a main road.
Oh yeah.
Right? So we used to get through a lot of them. My dad
It was
kept
their
saying,
risk.
you know, stop wasting money, you know, it's not
Stop
good.
wasting money, not wasting cats.
Right, so, anyway, we had this cat that was ill all the time. And,
It's just bag of nerves, probably.
Yeah, malingerer. Yeah, I'm terrified.
I'm going to which house?
Rome. Oh god, bloody hell. Rome.
Don't let me go to the Pilkingtons.
and it, for some reason, it kept being sick all the time. Right?
Yeah, that is nerves. That's definitely nerves.
So my mum kind of thought, I've had enough of this, and she shaved it.
What? Whoa! 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 Now I know you're not vets in your family, but what correlation did your mum think there was between you being sick and shaving it?
Because it kept being sick, and it was a pain to wash, because it kept getting
So she wanted a dry wipe cat.
So
why didn't you just varnish it? What?
It's weird. It's weird.
So now he's cold and sick.
No, but I mean, not all of it. She left sort of the back half, but sort of from its waist, sort of.
I love that! Shave it because it's sick on itself!
And
That
it
is
was the weirdest looking thing. I mean, normally I like cats. I'm always like giving yours a stroke on the head and that.
Yeah.
But as soon as she did that, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
can't touch it. And then
So now it's sick, cold, and hated.
Yeah.
Carl.
It must have, I mean, the other cats must have been taking the mick out of it constantly. It's just making things worse. Did it get, I'm hoping that it got run over and was put out of its misery.
no, I think it got all right, that one. Or is that the? Yeah, it did get run over. It did.
Oh, God. Oh, dear.
How many cats do you say you've got through?
I'd say whilst I was living at home, I mean, it's still on the increase even though I'm not there. So whilst I was there, probably 5.
God.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
And were you upset each time, or you just got used to it?
It's one of them things, isn't it? Like I've said before, when you first see something, it's a bit of a shock. Do you know what I mean? It's like the Elephant Man or whatever.
Yeah.
First time you see him, it's that sort of, oh, look at that.
Do you remember the first time you saw Steve? No, I'm not being funny. Do you remember the first?
Yeah, but I've said this before. It's always then you get used to how people look, and you don't. No.
I'm gonna burst. You have to play a record.
No, but
because I just see Steve's.
No, but I got used to it.
Let You Down. Gold Rush on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Brilliant.
Rick, I was in, I don't know whether I should tell you this because it might rock you to the very core.
Go on.
But I was in an Indian restaurant the other night, and you've not seen the film. Have you seen the film Notting Hill?
I haven't, no.
Right, in the film Notting Hill, have you seen that, Carl?
Yeah.
Do you remember the bit, Julia Roberts plays a movie star, rather like
She's the most famous. Yeah, I know.
And she's in a restaurant having dinner with Hugh Grant, and she overhears some people in the restaurant slagging her off, and saying, you know, she's a slapper, probably all actresses are. And she's sort of stewing on it, and Hugh Grant wants to say something, and she says, "No, I won't let you." And then as she's walking out, she goes and says something to them, and of course their faces drop. They can't believe it's her. And I was in Indian restaurant the other night, and they were slagging you off, Rick. Well, what they were saying is they were going, "Oh, Ricky Gervais. The thing about Ricky Gervais is he's just like the character he plays.
Right.
He's just like David Brent in real life." And I was listening in, and I was thinking, well, I want to say something. I want to go over and have a word and say, you know, you're partially right, but I couldn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't. What could I do? I couldn't really go over there and get into a rumble.
I want to say, what do you mean that I'm like him? I use his face and his vocal cords, But I mean, I can't help that.
But it's that thing as well of, I don't know where they've got this information from.
But no.
Because you're not,
it's
so
received.
they're wrong.
Well,
so
it's yeah, they've received it from somewhere, or they've read it or something. It's just, but I don't know. I mean, I can't really be annoyed that they're just wrong.
But it was very weird.
It's like being annoyed at a vicar believing in God. I can't get annoyed with him. I just don't believe.
But because obviously they didn't recognise me, it's rather like, you know, when they talk about that idea that if you could go to your funeral, what would people be saying about you? It's the closest you could get to that. Well, you can hear what people are saying about your friends.
But why don't you, to get him round to the, you go, he is, yeah. What do you think of the other fella that's sometimes with him?
Yeah.
That tall fella, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
It's a shame actually, because, on the occasions I do get recognised from minor appearances, I never get any cool fans. I just get the nerds. I get the real nerdlingers. I don't get, you know, beautiful women coming out.
You're putting them off, though. You're putting them off. You've got to take what you can.
Well...
but you'll have nothing.
No, I know, but this girl came out the other day, and she said, hey, are you that guy who's involved with The Office? I went, oh, yes, I am. She went, my boyfriend loves you, he's over here. And she pointed him out. I was devastated. I thought, I'm in here.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on.